criminal justice reform bill is awaiting a signature from Governor Roy Cooper after passing unanimously in the North Carolina Senate. Now, Fox 46 chief political correspondent Emma Withrow spoke with activists today and asked them, is this legislation enough?
You already know the answer to that. It's never enough until they empty the jails and decriminalize everything. Okay? It's never enough until we living like early man and we making blades out of flint rocks and sticks and wearing fur loincloths, man. I mean, like, it's never gonna be enough, man. So I would be surprised if these people say that criminal justice reform bill passing in the midst of the most deadliest, scariest crime wave this country's seen in 30 years, they were still able to pass a criminal justice reform bill, a police reform bill in that time. I would be so shocked if they have the grace, the self-awareness, the humility, the character to say, well, yeah, this is enough. We're thankful that, while people are dying in the streets, while people can't even walk their dogs, while kids are getting hit with stray bullets, while they're playing video games in their homes, while sisters are being killed in public, not domestic situations, but public, more than all the other groups of men. We hope that we're thankful that, we're very thankful that you were still able to pass a crime bill in this climate.
A criminal justice reform bill is awaiting a signature from Governor Roy Cooper after passing unanimously in the North Carolina Senate. Now, Fox 46 chief political correspondent Emma Withrow spoke with activists today and asked them, is this legislation enough?
I do think that this is a step in the right direction. However, there are things that we can do to ensure that we hold our officials accountable.
Natasha McNeil is the founder of Moms Against Racism, an international nonprofit with 8 chapters across the country. McNeil has additional ideas to tackle police misconduct and hopes more legislation follows Senate Bill 300.
I'd love to see citizens review boards in place where we have, outside community involvement when it comes to further coming up with ways to reform policing.
Do you understand that this woman, she's a mom, her kids get killed? Let's just go off to the gun memorial, man. Let's just go to the gun memorial. Americans killed with guns, okay? So the last date they have it for is August 30th. So they slackened a little bit on the gun memorial. It's a lag. But remember, this woman's group makes up 12% of the population. 12% of the population this woman's group makes up. Sisters, her group, sisters, make up 7% of the population. 6 maybe now. This woman shot, 3 dead, 3 wounded, suspects on the run. Neighborhood crews. A shooting involving neighborhood crews. This lovely woman is gone. But look at this. This woman's group makes up 12% of the population. And this is everybody who's getting killed by gun violence. And the glacier gliders you see on this list, half of them were killed by Sun people. Look at this. The kids. She wants criminal justice reform and police, the less police be able to, like, she basically wants to put handcuffs on police and open up jails in the midst of this. 4-year-old boy dies inside of his home. Gunfire entered his home. Remember I told you I could do a story on this every day? Of a kid in his home playing video games on TikTok, playing with toys, and a bullet comes into his home and kills them. This is in Chicago. Look at the sisters on here. See this girl. Augstardy. Gunman sought after woman shot and killed outside College Park Hotel. 1 dead, 4 hurt in Warner Robins murder. I did a video on this the other day. This is the little girl that was killed at that party. It was in one of my videos. This is the little girl that was killed. 15-year-old girl shot. Thugs just shot up the crowd at a party. Just rolled up and shot up the crowd at a party. She got killed. Obviously, she wasn't the target. This sister. Okay, they have a man charged in this one. Good. Look at this. Arizona. Oh, that's Arkansas. Little Rock. This woman, 62-year-old. Look at this. 90% of the people that are killed in this country are some people. I'll give it, you know what? Let me dial that back a little bit. 75. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. 31-year-old woman killed. We don't know how she was killed, but she was killed. Left behind 2 kids. In the midst of all this, she wants criminal justice reform. This is the dad in Chicago that was killed shielding his 7-year-old daughter. I did the video on that. But in the midst of this, this woman's pushing for criminal justice reform. And they gave it to her, and then she had the nerve to fix her face and get on TV and say it's not enough.
I do think that this is a step in the right direction. However, there are things that we can do to ensure that we hold our officials accountable.
Natasha McNeil is the founder of Moms Against Racism, an international nonprofit with 8 chapters across the country. McNeil has additional ideas to tackle police misconduct and hopes more legislation follows Senate Bill 300.
I'd love to see citizens review boards in place where we have, outside community involvement when it comes to further coming up with ways to reform policing.
The Criminal Justice Reform Bill will establish a statewide database to keep track of when a police officer shoots someone, is caught lying under oath, or gets complaints from the community. Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden gave it his stamp of approval.
Part about whether we're getting a bad apple, because oftentimes we may not know all about what an officer did in his previous agency. So to go into a database and says, well, this is his disciplinary action in another county would probably be good.
But McFadden doesn't like the circumstances that brought this bill to be written.
Sadly, it had to come to someone's death for us to create a bill like this and rules and policies and procedures.
Sadly, it had to come to someone's death. You mean not all those people I just showed you killed in the last few days in this country? Majority of them black. You talking about somebody in Minneapolis last year with enough fentanyl in the system to kill a horse, who was in the police car, fought his way out, then asked to be placed on the ground? That guy? Or you talking about the other guy in North Carolina, the kingpin, who was ramming his car into police and got shot? So you got guys like, and he gotta say this. I really can't even. If he had the sheriff's department, he gotta say this. Because if they pass the criminal justice reform bills in this time period, imagine the pressure that's being put on this guy. The fact that they're able to pass police code of conduct and procedure and criminal justice and during this time, this brother has no choice.
With 2 young sons, McNeil is navigating raising them in a complicated world with complicated issues that no bill or law can instantly change.
But they protest with me, and they understand no justice, no peace, and how to speak up when things are not right. Because at the same time, as a mom, I'm teaching them right from wrong.
As a mom, you're doing a horrible job. You're teaching them wrong. You're not teaching them right from wrong. You're a horrible mom. You should be ashamed of yourself. You got your kids out there protesting so that Pookie and Ray Ray can get shorter sentences, and police gotta coddle them and treat them like dainty little princesses when they're being arrested for violent crimes. And making it harder for convictions, because that's what their whole line under oath. They want to comb through a fine tooth. Or you said that Pookie was running and then he threw the gun, but really he was running. He dropped the gun. Case dismissed. He didn't throw it. He dropped it because you tripped him up. Case dismissed on a technicality. That's what she want. A bunch of that. Ray didn't really shoot into the crowd. He fell and the gun went off. Case dismissed. Murder charges dropped to manslaughter. She want that. She's fighting for that. She has her children fighting for that. A bunch of that. I know my examples aren't really like exactly how it goes, but that's basically how it goes. That's what she's fighting for. By watching everything, she wants every police statement magnified. Man, listen, man. Who cares about all that? Why is this woman in the midst of all this focusing her attention on something so stupid? Why?
They protest with me, and they understand no justice, no peace, and how to speak up when things are not right. Because at the same time, as a mom, I'm teaching them right from wrong.
With support on both sides of the aisle, Senate Bill 300 is expected to be signed into law by Governor Cooper in the coming weeks.